Hello everybody and welcome to Toyah at Home, which is an Anthem special, not just one Anthem special. We have so much material, so many questions from you that we've decided for the whole of September we're going to be doing Anthem specials. So that's for the next 3 weeks. This came out yesterday. It's been a very exciting 24 hours. This is the Anthem deluxe version. Every box set has a signed copy of this print inside. It has 2 vinyls. It's got Egyptian gold vinyl, it's got splatter vinyl, it's got CDs, DVDs, it's got 35 unheard tracks, demos included, unreleased material. It is just the most astonishing box set, which quite rightly is getting 4-star reviews. So thank you everyone for such brilliant reviews, and also for saying that you can hear how other bands have been inspired by this album, and I agree. It's all out there now, public knowledge amongst you all. You can also get the CD, DVD. I think the first few hundred, possibly 1,000 of you that buy this get a signed insert picture. And you can also get this fantastic vinyl version in Egyptian gold. It's a very exciting time. It's just come together beautifully, and a lot of hard work from Craig Ashley, who just spent hours and hours and hours of listening to demos, cassettes, material. I mean, he's a better person than I am. He has been so dedicated to it. And to think that I first met him when he was 4 years old in his little Toyah denim jacket, about that high. I mean, I'm just so proud of you, Craig, and thank you so much. So let's jump right in with this Toyah special, which is not only about Anthem, it's about you and the questions you want to ask. So the first question is off Abigail Johnson, and thank you, Abigail. What was your inspiration for this collection of music? Do you start with an actively chosen topic, or did you see what inspiration came to you and just go with it? Well, I Want to Be Free was the last lyric I wrote for the album. And when the band presented me, and when I mean the band, Nigel Glockler on drums, Adrian Lee keyboards, Phil Spaulding on bass, and Joel Bogan on guitar, when they presented me with the backing track for this, I could instantly hear what the top line needed. And I knew that this was an anthem for very big venues, a song that I was going to share with the audience. So thus I wanted to write about a common theme that I have always felt with my audience, and that is the need to be accepted as an individual and not grouped together and being made to change to suit a compartment, because none of us are born to just fit into a round peg, a square peg, a star peg, or a rectangle peg. We're just all utterly different. So I Want to Be Free, I knew I had to write something about why I was so different at that time from anyone else, but also it was part of my identity, my self-confidence, and my survival tactic to just not be made something I couldn't live. I couldn't live a lie. I just didn't fit into the systems I was being pushed into. So I knew when I wrote I Want to Be Free that this was going to be a cathartic song to write. Obsolete, very easy. I wanted to write something that captured the energy of punk, because that's where I came from. That's my roots. And suddenly I was having huge commercial success and being seen as a very ladylike female, when really I started off as a very non-gender specific performer. I wanted to be called the third gender, someone that was not addressed by either male or female kind of pronouns. And it was hard for people to understand that, even in 1978. So I always said I'm a tomboy. And slowly I was attracting fans who felt the same, who felt that they weren't behaviorally gender specific. And Obsolete is very much about that flavor of punk, that attitude of punk that allowed me to be the extreme individual that I was. Elocution lesson, literal. absolutely literal. When I was about 6, I had elocution lessons. My elocution teacher was actually a lovely, lovely, beautiful woman who taught me so much about how to deal with my speech impediment. But then there were others who were not kind, who would not accept how I spoke. And I can show you how I spoke as a child, and could not form anything because I have a very high palate. So I was taught to use my front teeth to create my diction. So I had people that would actually shout at me, "You get it right, get it right, you don't sound right." So the elocution lesson is autobiographical. Pop star, autobiographical, because while we were making Anthem, I became a pop star. Jungles of Jupiter, I have always felt and always believed that we did not evolve on this planet the way that we were told. I believe we were seeded here. Now I'm talking millions and millions of years ago, not within the last 2,000 years, but I do believe we were seeded here. I Am, again, is about the isolation you can feel when you just know you're not fitting in the way you should, or were being told you should fit in. It's a Mystery. Well, that was written by Keith Hale, but I contributed the second verse, and I very much wanted to talk about how our instinctive voice, how the animal instincts within us know more than our present day consciousness, and that's what the second verse is about. Maasai Boy, purely my love and respect for the Maasai culture. Marionette, well, we were living in Thatcher's world, so that was very much inspired not only of my love of writers like Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, who were storytellers, but my experience in Thatcher's Britain. Demolition Men, again, that is me reflecting on the power of our presidents, our prime ministers, our leaders, and how that power can be taken away by a single bullet. We Are was about the Toyah Barmy Army, the Toyah community. And then we had, have I talked about I Want to Be Free? Yes, we have. But then everything I have written about is probably strongly identified by my love of, at that time, Dungeons and Dragons, the book The Lord of the Rings, all of those things. I just love fantasy, and I certainly back then loved fantasy more than I loved reality. Now we're going to have a very special performance of I Want to Be Free, which is on the new release. It is a special performance done during lockdown. Me on guitar, Sydney Jake on guitar, Ellie Williams on keyboards. So it's really, really stripped down. And we did this exclusively for the re-release of Anthem. This is I Want to Be Free. I'm Toyah Willcox. This is Sydney Jake. And this is Ellie Williams. And this is I Want to Be Free.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm bored. I don't want to go to school. Don't want to be nobody's fool. I want to be free. I want to be me. I don't want to be sweet in need. I don't want somebody living my life for me. I want to be free. I'm gonna turn this world inside out. Gonna turn suburbia upside down. Gonna walk the street, scream and shout. Gonna crawl through the alleyway, being very loud. I don't wanna be told what to wear. As long as you're warm, who cares? I wanna be free. I wanna be me. So what if I dye my hair? I've still got a brain up there, and I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna turn this world inside out. upside down. Gonna walk the street, scream and shout. Gonna crawl through the alleyway, being very loud. I'm gonna turn this world inside out. Gonna turn suburbia upside down. Gonna walk the street, scream and shout. Gonna crawl through the alleyway, being very loud. Tear down the wallpaper, tough out the cat. Tear up the carpet and get rid of that. Blow up the TV, blow up the car. Without these things you don't know where you are. Burn down the scum, all magazines. Pull down the abattoirs, all that's obscene. Everything in life should be totally free. Live and let live all of your dreams. Turn this world inside out. Gonna turn suburbia upside down. Gonna walk the street, scream and shout. Gonna crawl through the alleyway, being very loud. I'm gonna turn this world inside out. Gonna turn suburbia upside down. Gonna walk the street, scream and shout. Gonna crawl through the alleyway, being very loud. I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. Yeah, yeah.
That was I Want to Be Free, filmed here at my home in Breedenborough with Ellie Williams on keyboards, Sydney Jake on guitar, me on guitar. I really loved doing it. I was so terrified. It's the first time I'd ever played I Want to Be Free on guitar, and I really want to continue on this guitar journey. Ironically, in the last year, because we filmed that almost exactly a year ago, I have been so busy that I can only pick a guitar up in a dressing room before going on stage to do my practice, and I can't see that anything easing off. My diary is not easing off, but I loved doing that recording so much. It was fantastic. So on to the next question from Julie Wheeler. If you could have made a video for any of your other songs off Anthem, which one would you pick and what would it entail? Well, this is a good question, Julie, because I think the whole of Anthem lends itself to videos and to the visuals of a video. But I think out of all of them, and Marionette would have been amazing, but I think it would have had to have been a very literal video. I think I Am would have been stunning, and I'd have shot that in a kind of bedsit with the window being a window out onto a very surreal world. With We Are, I think I would have shot that with all of the Toyah fans in the background, just chanting We Are. But probably the one that I would have loved to have made a video to, but the technology wasn't ready at the time, is Jungles of Jupiter, which lends itself so brilliantly to technology today. And it would have been a green screen video, obviously with lots of floating through the air like a spaceman, the planets, and imagining these kind of jungles on Jupiter as well, and the creatures on Jupiter. So that's probably more a video that would need to be made today than could have been made in 1981. And to just put things into perspective, J.R.R. Tolkien in the late 1960s, possibly the early 1970s, he wrote Lord of the Rings, sold the film rights to the book, thinking that the technology to make that book into a film would never exist. So everything has changed so much in the last 40 years that to make a video today for Jungles of Jupiter is a lot easier and a lot less expensive than it would have been in 1981. So that is the track that I would choose. And Julie, thank you for that question. Now, next we have a version of Thunder in the Mountains at a concert that took place in Paris that I've become very, very fond of. I think this concert footage is fantastic, and I only saw footage of it in the last 2 months. I think the band is incredible. I think I look really great. I'm performing really well. So it's really, really refreshing to see this very grounded performance. And this is Thunder in the Mountains, live in Paris at the Palais Theatre. Enjoy.
The sea and light spit stains on the scenery, and the air is heavy with the sticky unease. Wish for my world of make believe. Ready in my sea says go, and ready in my sea says go.
Wow, that was Thunder in the Mountains in Paris, recorded at the Palais Theatre. I mean, it's just such a great performance. I really, really love it. So let's get on to the next question. And this is group questions, funnily enough, about Jungles of Jupiter. Paul Green says, hi, do you have a favourite song on the Anthem album? Mine personally is Jungles of Jupiter. I am so proud of the song I Want to Be Free, and I've been talking a lot lately, especially in the last 6 weeks, about pride and confidence, because this song within the industry was treated very much as a novelty song when it came out, and some people even treated me as a novelty artist, and I put two fingers up to that now. This song was written with so much venom, need to express myself, so much anger at what I've been put through as a dyslexic in the school system, about what I've been put through as not fitting the mold of being a tall, slim, beautiful woman. You know, there's a lot of anger and a lot of irony in this song, and I am so proud of I Want to Be Free, because today people feel that weight. And they feel the message more than ever, and young generations feel that message more than ever. So out of all of the songs on the album, and I'm enjoying them all at the moment because we're about to perform an awful lot of them on the Anthem tour. I mean, I never thought I'd revisit Marionette ever again, and you know, that's going pretty well. That's going to be incredible on stage. I think I Want to Be Free has a lot of renewed respect for me that really started in 2018 when it was the finale of the Stage Play Jubilee, and I was on stage with gender fluid performers who all identified with this song. So I love this song now. I love it. There were moments where I was frustrated by it because people were just so mean about it, but now people have got it. So thank you very much, Paul, for that question. Caroline Hill, I think that Jungles of Jupiter absolutely 100% should have been a single. Well, thank you for that, Caroline, because it's a pretty sophisticated song for a single. You could have been right. The video would have been mind-blowing. Why only 2 releases from this amazing album? Now that, Caroline, is the question for me. In 1981, having come from punk, having had so much success in the punk movement, you did not exploit albums back then the way in the past 20 years, possibly 30 years, albums have been exploited. So to release more than 2 singles off this album, I think would have backfired with my fans. It would have been negative towards my career because it would have been seen as exploitation. But I totally agree with you, Caroline, that there is more than 2 singles off this album. And I do have regrets about that because we could have stretched the album right through to the following April. So my thoughts are that We Are definitely should have been the next single after I Want to Be Free. I agree with you, Jungles of Jupiter with the right video would have been a very sophisticated single. I possibly think that Marionette at the time might have made it as a single considering how the country was being run. And possibly Demolition then would have been a really fun single. This is a very poppy, approachable album. It's very immediate in its messages, and at the time the audience, were just right behind it and loved it. And I think this is a great question, Caroline, and thank you so much. But definitely We Are. But I think my heavyweight punky fans would just have gone, this is a rip-off, why have you done it? And back in 1981, you couldn't do that. By about 1985, 86, when Madonna started to release, everything changed. But early 80s, no, you couldn't have do that. So I've been talking about Jungles of Jupiter for the past 2 questions. Let's now have a performance of it. This is live at the Beat Club in Germany. I loved working in Germany, and if any promoter out there in Germany is watching this, I want to work in Germany again. This is Jungles of Jupiter. Enjoy.
This is a song about real love. It's called The Jungles of Jupiter. Making love out of time. Instant confusion in crystal caves. Shattered lights blow my hair in a trillion ways. Gauntlet of gold carriers of blaze. The misty mountain. Trees and our heads are crowned. Whispered confusion in crystal caves. Shattered lights blow my hair in a trillion ways. Gauntlet of gold carriers city and build it deep within the land where the real people sleep. The jewel in the grail, the eye in the ice. Watch the real people live their lives. Send me a city and a true shot in time. We'll return to the darkness, silent voice of mine. Orphans of technology. Orphans of technology. Yes, angels, the soundless flight, draw their swords and lacerate the night. In the jungles of Jupiter, naked plant on, naked flesh. Wild essence in wild minds, making love out of time. Flashing bodies, making metallic shines. Oh, sad androids of time. Oh, sad androids of time. Oh, sad androids of time. Thank you.
That was Jungles of Jupiter, live from the Beat Club in Germany. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic trip down memory lane. Now we're going to have the competition winners. So we've got the winners for the Anthem goodies. These are people who've pre-ordered the formats from Cherry Red. So congratulations to number one, a test pressing of the Anthem LP on black vinyl has been won by Andrew Robson. Andrew, I don't even have a test pressing, so congratulations. Also, a test pressing of Thunder mini LP vinyl is won by Michael Clayton. Congratulations, you've got it. I don't have a copy. A test pressing of Anthem picture disc vinyl is won by David Gray. Also, the Anthem Tour stage banner is won by Denise Mallon. Well done, all four of you, because these have huge rarity value. There certainly isn't going to be another Anthem Tour stage banner to be won. Cherry Red will get those to you soon. Now, for the last question. This is Mark Taylor, and that's the last question for today, not for the next couple of weeks where we're doing 3 Anthem specials. Now, your question is, if you could go back in time and swap the tracks on Anthem with any others from the same era, what would you change with? So if you could go back in time and swap the tracks on Anthem with any others from the same era, I can only imagine, Mark, you mean other artists. Come on, I'm not going to do that. I think Anthem is an absolutely perfect album. It's stunning. We hadn't written Thunder in the Mountains when we were doing the actual tracks for the Anthem album. Thunder in the Mountains was a standalone single. It was written in August 1981. We'd already finished and released Anthem the album by then. Same with Good Morning Universe was a standalone single for December release. So I would not swap any tracks on Anthem as a complete album, because I think this is actually one of the reasons it's such a successful album is every single track on it is perfect. The running order is perfect. But if we'd had the time to write Thunder in the Mountains and Good Morning Universe, and those were to go on Anthem, say instead of Elocution Lesson or instead of Marseille Boy, then we would have had an album where we could only really politically at that time release 2 singles off it. We'd have an album of 10 singles. I mean, you'd be throwing away so much potential for kind of market value. It's a really interesting question mark, and thank you so much for that. Now, we have a very special announcement on this Toyah Anthem special. But first, we're going to let you see a promo for the Rainbow, Toyah at the Rainbow. You might guess what the announcement is. Enjoy this promo trailer. Okay, so you've just seen something that no one had any inkling about, that Toyah Live at the Rainbow is going to be re-released. And this is a really wonderful thing to be able to tell you, because so many of you want to own a high quality version of this concert. It's something that you've always wanted available on DVD, and this is the good news. It's coming. 25th of November this year, Cherry Red Records are releasing Toyah Live at the Rainbow. Oh, this is such a wonderful, wonderful announcement. It will be available on a special CD, DVD set on a 2 LP coloured aqua blue vinyl. This one has been really quite tricky to get sorted and took a lot of archive tape to research by Craig Ashley. Craig, thank you, thank you, thank you. But it's now all sorted, remastered, and all in one place. Fantastic. It can be pre-ordered from 12:30 p.m. today, exclusively from the Cherry Red website. I hope they're ready, because every time we make these announcements, the website crashes. So maybe you'll be the last straw on the camel's back that crashes their website. Go for it. All of the links and details are now available on www.toyahwillcox.com, 2 L's in Willcox. I hope you are enjoying your Anthem releases. I am so proud of the work that Craig Ashley, Joel Bogan, and everyone at Cherry Red has put in, Danny Keane. This has been a remarkable time for me, that 41 years after its release, it gets another release, a huge amount of respect, incredible reviews. I am a very, very happy 64-year-old woman, and we're about to tour this, and I can't wait to give you that music back live. It's brilliant. So, with the Rainbow announcements, just before we go out with a special performance from the Rainbow, you have Toyah and Robert's Objects of Desire tonight. You have a very, 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 very special Sunday lunch tomorrow. And thank you for being here with me today. We are going to play out with a sneaky preview of the new remastered footage of Toyah live at the Rainbow, which has been remixed. This is War Boys, especially for you, from the Rainbow, February 1981. Enjoy, everybody, and I'll see you for the next Toyah at Home, which again is an anthem special with more absolutely unique material. Enjoy.
We're the lords of the